Arya Chen stood in the marble lobby of the Grandview Hotel, phone pressed to her ear, trying to maintain her composure. The reservation system had crashed. The conference rooms were somehow double-booked. And impossibly, the luxury suite reserved for her boss Nathan Cross now had only one bed instead of the two-bedroom arrangement she'd specifically confirmed 3 times. "I understand there was a system error," she said into the phone, her voice tight with controlled frustration. "But I confirmed this reservation personally with your manager last week." Beside her, Nathan Cross scrolled through his tablet, seemingly unbothered by the chaos. At 36, he'd built Crosstech Solutions from a garage startup into a billion-dollar empire, and very little rattled him anymore. He was tall with dark hair showing silver at the temples, sharp features, and eyes so blue they seemed to hold their own light. He wore success like a second skin, comfortable and perfectly fitted. "It's fine, Arya," he said without looking up. "We're both adults. I'll take the couch." Arya felt her stomach flip. 3 years. She'd worked for Nathan Cross for 3 years, maintaining perfect professionalism, keeping every inappropriate thought locked away in a mental vault she pretended didn't exist. And now they would share a room. "Sir, I can find another hotel," she offered, already pulling up options on her phone. "The investor breakfast is at 7 tomorrow morning in this hotel." Nathan finally looked at her, his blue eyes unreadable. "I need you there at 6 to review the presentation. It makes no sense for you to stay across town." The desk clerk, a young woman who looked deeply uncomfortable, interjected. "We do have a rollaway bed we could bring up." "That works," Arya said quickly. "The suite has a separate sitting room," Nathan added. "We'll make it work. We've handled worse." They had. Arya thought of the emergency flight to London when their presentation laptop died. The product launch where the demo malfunctioned on stage. The board meeting where Nathan's biggest investor tried to stage a coup. She'd been beside him through all of it, anticipating problems, solving crises, keeping the machinery of his empire running smoothly. What she hadn't done in 3 years was spend a night in the same room with him. The suite was everything the hotel promised. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlooked the bay, now dark and dotted with city lights. The living area was spacious with a wet bar, dining table, and plush furniture. Through an open doorway, Arya could see the bedroom with its enormous bed dressed in white linens that probably cost more than her monthly rent. "I'll take the sitting room," she said immediately, setting her bag down. "Don't be ridiculous. You're half my size. The bedroom is yours." Nathan loosened his tie, a rare gesture of casualness. "Besides, I have emails to catch up on. I'll be up late anyway." Arya wanted to argue but recognized the futility. When Nathan Cross made a decision, he expected it to be executed. It was one of the things that made him brilliant and occasionally infuriating. She retreated to the bedroom to change, hyper-aware of the thin door separating them. When she emerged in comfortable pants and an oversized sweater, Nathan had shed his jacket and rolled up his sleeves. He stood at the window with a glass of whiskey, looking out at the city. "You should eat something," Arya said, falling into her familiar role. "You skipped lunch." "So did you." He didn't turn around. "There's room service. Order whatever you want." Arya ordered 2 meals, steak medium rare for him, salmon for her, because after 3 years, she knew exactly how he liked his food, even though he'd never asked about her preferences. When the food arrived, they sat at the small dining table, and the intimacy of the moment struck her. This wasn't a working dinner in his office or a business meal with clients. This was just them. "You grew up in San Francisco, right?" Nathan asked suddenly. Arya paused with her fork halfway to her mouth. "Yes. Chinatown. My parents owned a restaurant." "Sorry, I should know that." He had the grace to look embarrassed. "Why?" The question came out sharper than she intended. Nathan set down his knife. Because I've realized I know everything about how you take your coffee and nothing about who you actually are. And that's not okay. Arya's heart hammered. This was dangerous territory. I'm your assistant, sir. My job is to know about you, not the other way around. Nathan, he corrected. When it's just us, call me Nathan. And that's a terrible answer. She took a sip of water, buying time. Fine. Chinatown. My parents worked 18-hour days at their restaurant. I have one younger sister who thinks I sold out by going corporate instead of culinary school. Did you sell out? Arya considered. No. I wanted different things. Stability. My own path. Is that so wrong? Not at all. Nathan's eyes held. Hers. I wanted more too. My father thought I was insane to turn down a position at his investment firm to start a tech company. We didn't speak for 2 years. Arya knew this story from press profiles, but hearing it directly from him felt different. More real. But you reconciled eventually? After the first major acquisition, when he realized I wasn't going to fail spectacularly. Nathan smiled without humor. He's proud now. Tells everyone about his son, the CEO. But he never asked if I was happy. Are you? The question slipped out before Arya could stop it. Nathan stared at his plate. I don't know. I've been so focused on building, on winning, on being successful that I forgot to check if any of it actually matters. The vulnerability in his voice made Arya's chest tighten. This wasn't the Nathan Cross the world saw. This was someone lonely and uncertain, and she wanted to reach across the table and take his hand. She didn't. It matters, she said instead. Crosstech has changed how people connect across distances. The educational programs you funded have sent hundreds of kids to college. That matters. But who do I share it with? Nathan looked at her directly. I have houses I never visit, cars I never drive, money I can't possibly spend. And at the end of the day, I eat dinner alone or at business functions where everyone wants something from me. That's the price of success, Arya said quietly. Is it worth it? She thought of her own small apartment, her carefully budgeted life, the family she rarely saw because she was always working. I don't know. Ask me when I get there. You're already there, Arya. You just haven't realized it yet. Nathan stood and collected their plates. You've sacrificed just as much as I have. Maybe more. It's not the same. Isn't it? When was the last time you went on a date? Saw your family? Did something just for yourself? Arya felt defensive anger rising. My job is demanding. You need someone available. I need a lot of things. Nathan's voice was soft. But I never asked what you needed. The air between them felt charged, dangerous. Arya stood abruptly. I should get some sleep. Tomorrow is important. Arya. She paused at the bedroom door. Thank you, Nathan said. For everything. Not just today. Everything. She nodded, not trusting her voice, and closed the door between them. But as she lay in that enormous bed, staring at the ceiling, Arya knew something had shifted. The careful professional distance they'd maintained for 3 years had cracked, and she had no idea how to repair it. Or if she even wanted to. Arya woke at 5:30, her internal alarm more reliable than any device. For a moment, she forgot where she was. Then the events of last night came flooding back, the conversation with Nathan, his unexpected vulnerability, the way he'd looked at her across the dinner table. She needed coffee and distance, in that order. When she emerged from the bedroom already dressed in her charcoal suit and heels, Nathan was asleep on the couch. He'd ditched his shirt at some point, and a thin blanket covered him from the waist down. His dark hair was messy, his face relaxed in a way she never saw during waking hours. He looked younger. Less guarded. And Arya felt something dangerous bloom in her chest. She turned away quickly and started the coffee maker, the sound causing Nathan to stir. "What time is it?" His voice was rough with sleep. 5:45. "I made coffee." She kept her back to him, focusing intently on adding cream to her cup. She heard him stand, heard the rustle of fabric as he presumably put on his shirt. "Arya, about last night, the investor meeting is at 7, she interrupted, her tone brisk and professional. "I printed the updated projections. The presentation is loaded and tested. Your navy suit is pressed and hanging in the closet." "Arya. The investors are specifically interested in the AI division, so I've flagged the relevant data. There are 3 potential concerns they might raise, and I've prepared responses for each." "Stop." Nathan's hand touched her shoulder, and she froze. "Look at me." Arya turned slowly, keeping her expression neutral. Nathan had put on his shirt but hadn't buttoned it yet. He looked concerned, almost worried. "Last night wasn't a mistake," he said. "I meant what I said. All of it. It doesn't matter." Arya moved away, putting the kitchen island between them. "We have a working relationship that functions well. Let's not complicate it." "What if I want it to be complicated?" Her heart stuttered. "Sir, Nathan, we have investors arriving in an hour. Can we focus on that?" Something flickered in his eyes. Disappointment, maybe. Or resignation. "Of course. You're right. Business first." But it didn't feel like agreement. It felt like retreat. The investor meeting took place in the hotel's executive boardroom. 4 people representing Titan Ventures, one of the largest investment firms in the country, sat across from them. They were interested in acquiring a significant stake in Crosstech's AI division, and Nathan needed this deal. Arya sat slightly behind and to the right of Nathan, her laptop open, ready to pull up any information he might need. But as always, he barely needed her intervention. He was magnetic in these settings, confident without arrogance, detailed without being tedious. He answered questions with precision, addressed concerns with data, and painted a vision of the future that made even the most skeptical investor lean forward with interest. Arya had seen this performance hundreds of times. But today, she noticed something different. The way Nathan's eyes would briefly find hers when he scored a point. The slight smile that touched his lips when she passed him the exact document he needed before he asked. They moved together like dancers who'd rehearsed for years, and the investors noticed. "You two have excellent synergy," said Marcus Webb, the senior partner. "That's rare in executive teams." "Arya is the best assistant in the industry," Nathan said smoothly. "I'd be lost without her." The words should have pleased Arya. Instead, they landed like stones. Assistant. That's what she was. That's all she would ever be to him, no matter what happened in hotel rooms late at night. The meeting concluded with handshakes and promises of contracts by week's end. Nathan was elated, his energy crackling as they rode the elevator back to gather their things. "That went perfectly," he said, loosening his tie. "Did you see Webb's face when I showed him the projected growth metrics?" "You were very persuasive," Arya agreed, her tone professional. "We were persuasive. That bit about the international expansion, your research made that possible." Nathan turned to her, his eyes bright. "We make a great team, Arya." The elevator doors opened and Arya stepped out quickly. "I need to send follow-up emails and coordinate with legal about the contract terms. Later. Right now, we should celebrate." Nathan pulled out his phone. "I'm making lunch reservations somewhere nice. Just us. I should really work through lunch. There's a lot to, Arya Chen, I'm giving you a direct order. Have lunch with me." She wanted to refuse. Every instinct screamed at her to maintain boundaries, to protect herself. But she was tired of protecting herself. "Fine," she said. "One lunch." Nathan took her to a small French bistro tucked away from the main business district. It was intimate and charming, the kind of place that didn't need to advertise. The owner greeted Nathan by name, which surprised Arya until she realized he probably came here during his trips to the city. "What do you do for fun?" Nathan asked once they'd ordered. Arya laughed. "Fun? Is that still a thing people do?" "I'm serious. When you're not working, what do you enjoy?" "I read," Arya said after considering. "Mystery novels mostly. And I paint, though I don't have much time for it anymore." "What do you paint?" "Cityscapes, abstracts. My mother taught me. She used to say that painting was like problem solving, you had to see the whole picture while focusing on the details." Arya smiled at the memory. She would have liked you, actually. She appreciated people who paid attention. "I would have liked to meet her." Nathan's voice was gentle. "She passed 2 years ago. Right before I took the job with you, actually." Arya hadn't meant to share that, but somehow it felt right. "I almost didn't apply because I was helping my dad sort through her things, dealing with the estate. But my sister said Mom would have wanted me to take the opportunity. I'm glad you did." Nathan reached across the table and covered her hand with his. Arya stared at their joined hands. His skin was warm, his fingers strong. She should pull away. Should remind him they were in public, that someone might see, that this crossed every line they'd carefully drawn. She didn't move. "Nathan, what are we doing?" she asked quietly. "I don't know," he admitted. "But I know I don't want to stop." The moment shattered when a woman's voice cut through the restaurant's ambient noise. "Nathan. I should have known you'd be here." Arya looked up to see a stunning woman in a designer dress approaching their table. She was elegant, polished, with blonde hair styled in perfect waves and green eyes that regarded Arya with cool assessment. Nathan's entire body tensed. Elena. His ex-wife. Arya had seen photos, had handled the occasional awkward phone call, but had never met Elena Cross in person. She was even more beautiful than her pictures suggested, moving with the confidence of someone who'd never doubted her place in the world. "Aren't you going to introduce us?" Elena's smile was sharp. "Elena, this is Arya Chen, my executive assistant." "Arya, Elena Cross, my ex-wife." "Though I see Nathan has upgraded from the usual business lunch," Elena added, extending a perfectly manicured hand. "How cozy." Arya shook her hand briefly, feeling defensive and inexplicably guilty. "Nice to meet you." "Is it?" Elena turned her attention back to Nathan. "Darling, we need to talk. It's about the foundation." The Cross Foundation, established during their marriage, funded technology education programs. Nathan still served on the board despite the divorce, which Arya had always thought was masochistic. "Call my office." "Arya will schedule something," Nathan said tersely. "It can't wait. There's an issue with the gala funding, and, well, I'd rather discuss it privately." Elena's eyes flicked to Arya dismissively. Arya stood immediately, recognizing a power play when she saw one. "I should get back to work anyway." "Thank you for lunch, Mr. Cross." "Arya, you don't have to leave," Nathan protested. "It's fine. I have those emails to send." She grabbed her purse and walked away before he could argue further, feeling Elena's satisfied gaze burning into her back. Outside the restaurant, Arya leaned against the cool brick wall and took several deep breaths. What was she thinking? Nathan Cross was a billionaire. His ex-wife looked like a supermodel. And Arya was the assistant, easily dismissed, easily replaced. Her phone buzzed. A text from Nathan: "I'm sorry. Stay nearby, please." Arya stared at the message. She should go back to the hotel, pack her things, maintain what little professional dignity she had left. Instead, she found a coffee shop across the street and waited, hating herself for hoping. 30 minutes later, Nathan appeared in the doorway, his expression stormy. He scanned the shop until he found her, then crossed directly to her table. She wanted money, he said without preamble, sitting down. The foundation is fine. She wants money to cover some bad investments and thought she could manipulate me into it. Did you give it to her? No. Nathan's jaw was tight. I told her to contact her lawyer and work through proper channels. And I told her that my personal life is no longer her concern. Is that what I am? Your personal life? I want you to be. The coffee shop suddenly felt too small, too public. Arya gathered her things. We should go back. They walked in silence until Nathan stopped suddenly in the middle of the sidewalk, forcing Arya to halt as well. She left because I was boring, he said. Too focused on work, too driven, not spontaneous enough. She wanted adventure and excitement, and I gave her spreadsheets and business dinners. She wasn't wrong to leave. Nathan. But the thing is, I never loved her the way I should have. We looked good together on paper. Connected families, similar backgrounds, shared social circles. It made sense. He looked directly at Arya. But it didn't feel like this. Like what? Like I'd do anything to make you smile. Like your opinion matters more than any board members. Like coming home means nothing if you're not there. Nathan stepped closer. I know it's inappropriate. I know there are power dynamics and professional complications. But Arya, I can't keep pretending I don't feel this. Arya's throat tightened. You're my boss. And I'll fix that. You could work for someone else in the company, or I could step down as CEO and just be chairman. There are solutions. You'd give up being CEO? I'd give up everything if it meant I could have you. The words hung between them, too big and too honest. Arya felt tears prick her eyes. You don't mean that, she whispered. I've never meant anything more. A car honked nearby. People flowed around them on the sidewalk, oblivious to the moment breaking between them. Nathan reached up and gently wiped a tear from Arya's cheek. Tonight there's a gala for the Tech Innovation Awards, he said softly. Come with me. Not as my assistant. As my date. Arya knew she should say no. Knew this would change everything, possibly destroy everything. But she was so tired of being careful. Okay, she breathed. Yes. Nathan's smile was like sunrise, bright and full of promise. Then let's go shopping. You need a dress that shows the world exactly who you are. The woman I'm falling in love with. The gala dress hung in the hotel closet like a promise, midnight blue. Silk that Nathan had insisted on buying despite Arya's protests about the price. When she tried it on in the boutique, his breath had caught, and that had been answer enough. Now, 3 hours before the gala, Arya stood before the mirror. The dress fit perfectly, elegant and sophisticated. She'd styled her hair in a sleek updo, applied makeup with care. She looked like someone who belonged in Nathan Cross's world. But did she? Her phone buzzed with a text from her sister, just saw the viral video of you and Nathan. Call me now. Arya's stomach dropped. She opened social media to find their sidewalk moment everywhere, Nathan confessing his love, Arya crying, their almost kiss captured from multiple angles. The headlines ranged from Tech CEO's romantic declaration to Boss Assistant romance goes public. There was a knock on the bedroom door. Arya? Can I come in? Nathan entered, devastatingly handsome in his tuxedo. Then he saw her face. You saw the videos, he said. We're everywhere. Your board is probably calling. The investors. I don't care. Nathan crossed to her, taking both her hands. Let them talk. Let them see. I meant every word I said on that sidewalk, and I'm not taking any of it back. But No buts. Unless you've changed your mind. Unless you don't want this. His eyes searched hers. Have you changed your mind? Arya looked at this man who'd just offered to give up his career for her. Who'd declared his love in front of strangers. Who was looking at her like she was the most important thing in his world. No, she said. I haven't changed my mind. I'm terrified, but I haven't changed my mind. Then let's go show them what we are. Together. The gala was held in a grand ballroom, all crystal chandeliers and elegant cocktails. Arya walked in on Nathan's arm, aware of every eye turning toward them. She recognized faces from the viral videos, saw people whispering, pulling out phones. But Nathan never left her side. He introduced her to everyone, not as his assistant, but as Arya Chen, his girlfriend, with such pride in his voice that she couldn't help but stand a little straighter. So this is why you two work so well together, Marcus Webb from the morning's meeting said with a knowing smile. I should have guessed. Arya is brilliant, Nathan said simply. I'm lucky she puts up with me. It's not terrible, Arya teased. Most of the time. They danced, Arya's head resting on Nathan's shoulder as they swayed to music played by a live orchestra. It felt surreal, like a dream she might wake from at any moment. What are you thinking? Nathan asked softly. That this is crazy. That we're probably going to face a lot of challenges. That HR is going to have a field day with the paperwork. Probably. And that I've never been happier. Nathan pulled back to look at her face. Really? Terrified, but happy. I can work with that. As the evening wound down, Elena appeared one last time. But this time, Nathan's arm stayed firmly around Arya's waist. I hope you know what you're doing, Elena said, her voice bitter. I do, Nathan replied. For the first time in a long time, I absolutely do. After Elena walked away, Arya looked up at Nathan. Thank you. For what? For choosing me. For being brave enough for both of us. Arya Chen, Nathan said, pulling her closer. You've been brave every day we've known each other. You just didn't realize it. Now it's my turn to catch up. He kissed her then, in the middle of the ballroom, with everyone watching. And Arya kissed him back, finally letting herself believe that maybe, just maybe, fairy tales could come true. Even ones that started with a hotel reservation disaster.